All right, guys. So anyway, good morning and welcome.
Sorry, guys. Let me swap. I gotta stay on the high side at least.
Here, let me
at least give me.
I forgot that Drew had it in his rider. When you interview him, you have to stand in a hole next to him.
That's
so
right. It's in the contract.
So anyway, guys, this is Drew Gregory. Drew finished #2, proving once again that he's #2 Drew. I hope that name doesn't stick because this guy is a hammer. There's a ton of guys out there that would give their left arm, or maybe the tip of their left pinky, to finish second in most of the tournaments that this dude has finished second in. But here's what we're gonna do. A lot of people ask these questions when they see other anglers' kayaks passively going by, either in the show or in my YouTube videos or whatever. So Drew, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you give the folks at home a full walkthrough of your tournament setup. And if you could be so kind, even give them a full walkthrough of the baits that you use to finish second here on the first stop of the KBF Pro Tour on the Clermont chain in Lake County, Florida. So I'm gonna turn it over to you and basically give them the full rundown, talk about any sponsors that you've got, any baits that are under development. Because here's the thing about this guy. He's always catching fish on a bait you don't have yet. And I'm just telling you, he's one of those guys. So he's like the professor over there. Brad Case is getting ready. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna turn it over to Drew, let him talk to you about his tournament setup for finishing second in the Pro Tour and for going out there and dominating in most of the tournaments that he's fishing in. So anyway, Drew, talk to him about that, and I'll get out of your way.
Okay, guys, we're gonna start from the bow. This is my tournament setup for this year. This is a Jackson Kayak U-Pick, and you can see on the bow here, I've actually made a custom mount for my Motor Guide XI5. I also use the XI3 sometimes, but I got the XI5 on there now. And I've got the Yak Attack Bullwinkle right here, so it's kind of sweet. You can organize your rods so they don't tangle up with one another. And the baits I'm using, just so you can see, I usually have a couple different chatterbaits. I got a 3/8, I got a 1/2 ounce. I got the Turbo Cross for punching into any thick vegetation. I got a prototype of a buzzbait I'm working on with Z-Man actually, so you'll probably see this soon. Here's a prototype of it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And then I've got the TRD Crawls, a jig here, which is a nice little backup I like to throw when something misses a chatterbait. So that's the setup. It's pretty simple, not too many rods. I like to keep it simple. Usually I'm fishing wild places and I like to force feed them one of those baits. So that's what I was doing at this tournament. As we move down the boat, you will see I've got a Roto Grip paddle holder right here. It actually uses for a rod. I lay a rod right in here. It's the one I'm usually using. I've got more Roto Grip paddle holders right here for my paddle when it goes across, when I am using the paddle and not the motor, which is a lot, by the way. I use the paddle a lot more you would realize, because a draw stroke and a prize stroke, the motor guy can never do. You need to swing the back of your kayak around and up against banks sometimes. And if you realize you can't just sit there and hug a bank like you want all the time with a wind and current with a motor alone. So a paddle is still a very important part of the puzzle. And then I also have a fish grip here, the T-Rain by Yak Attack. I use a fish grip. That's a lucid fish grip to hold bass on there so they can, breathe and be happy in the water while I'm waiting, getting the board ready for the photo. And then as you move along, you notice I got an anchor wizard over here. If I'm in a river or creek situation where an anchor wizard is helpful, I'll throw that down. And then the hog trough, I go under the seat with it. Under the seat I also have my Angler Aid kit and very easy access. I never fish without the Angler Aid kit. It's actually saved me many times. During this tournament, I had to use it. I had to get some zip ties out of there and use it to fix a little part of my motor bracket that broke because I smashed into a log. And then underneath the seat, I also carry a little toolkit here. I got my Plano Z Series wrap with soft plastic lures. And then behind the seat, you'll notice I got the Plano Z Series bag filled with Plano Edge tackle boxes. Have those handy. And I've also got all my soft plastics in this other Plano bag. The Bidding Branches paddle here, Angler Pro, love it. And then in the very stern here, you'll see Lithium Pros battery, 24 volt to run the XI5, and the new GoPro camera mounts from Yak Attack. I love this one. This is the medium size one. So it's gonna do all the filming for me. It's gonna last all day. I've got my all day pack on here, which I broke, so I had to put a little Gorilla Tape, but fortunately I had it in my toolkit and it spared me on this trip. So you guys could see my vlog and see all the footage from this tournament. That is pretty much the walkthrough of the boat. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you could take a few tips from it.